Welcome to Seasoned Conversations, where experience meets insight and life's journey reveals its deepest wisdom. I'm your host, Kenneth Braswell, and here we share authentic stories of reinvention, purpose, and fulfillment from the seasoned paths we walk. Together, we'll explore how to age boldly, live intentionally, and embrace our second act with clarity and confidence. So pull up a chair. There's always room at the table for Seasoned Conversations.
Welcome to Seasoned Conversations. I'm your co-host, Kenneth Braswell. My queen is with me today, Mrs. Tracy Braswell with no E. Make sure when you sign the checks, don't put no E's on it, because I didn't send you. There was 2 texts I meant to send you the other day. I sent her a text because I ran across a meme from a judge, I think it was, or a lawyer or someone, whose name was Tracy L. Brown, and that's her initials. And I said, and her name was spelled with an E.
My maiden name.
Yeah. And so right after that, I got a someone followed me on LinkedIn, Tracy with an E. And then I got a spam email from someone trying to purchase my house, and the person's name was Tracy with an E. Phones be doing too much, y'all. That's what phones be doing.
This is true.
Yeah. And so we told you we were going to come back. This segment is called Forever Starts Today, where my wife and I are just going to kind of talk about marriage, right? Because we've now been hooked up. I was trying to come up with the right word.
Hooked up is crazy.
For like 20 years now. So we go back and forth on a date, and we know the married dates. But then there's the we got together date. There's the we met date. There's the first time I saw you date. There's also the first time she stalked me date. But there's a whole lot of dates we have, and I don't remember all those, and it's fuzzy math. She be throwing fuzzy math on me. But now I've just said, listen, whatever it is, 20 is it. And so
It's 21.
21, I stand corrected. And so it's been a wonderful 21 years. And we're going to take all of that knowledge that we have garnered together, as well as what we've garnered not together. Because there was a lot of learning prior to us, right? That fed into us, helped us, informed us, and some things still inform us. Some of that stuff still informs who we are. It informs how we engage with each other. It informs how we see this thing we call marriage and relationship. But today we're going to talk about something, because this is the seasoned conversations. We're going to be talking about some other things as well, things that impact our relationships. And one of the things that impacts our relationship is once we become seasoned, our bodies change and things don't
Look the same.
right as they used to. I was gonna say things don't function the same.
I know you were.
But people with like
the way people were gonna think about it, I was like, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah. I was like, hey, it is what it is, right? But there are things that happen over time, and sometimes you don't notice it, and sometimes it just happens, and sometimes people don't take into consideration that things may be going on that we want to keep quiet. We don't want to say anything about it, particularly for men, because we don't want to look weak. For women, I don't know what it is. You have to tell me what it is.
Menopause.
Yeah, but I'm curious. When was the first time that you actually became conscious that your body was changing?
After our son was born.
Wow.
Yeah. Prior to that, I mean, I had stayed pretty much the same size for quite some time. But after KJ, never went back to the same. And then the next big shift that I saw was when we moved down to Atlanta. And that is pretty much around the time the menopause kicked in. And so menopause for women, it wreaks havoc on your body. Okay. So it's kind of like being pregnant in reverse. Mm-hmm. Right? So when you're pregnant, you expect these changes in your body. You expect your belly to get bigger, right? You expect even up here will get bigger. Your hips may spread and all that kind of stuff happens, but that's all anticipation of having a baby. When you hit menopause, your body kind of does the same thing again. It starts shifting in ways that you are not expecting. And in ways that might not be so pleasing to your own personal eye. Like, so it does make it sometimes difficult because you're just trying to adapt to, you know, it's like every other day something else has changed. Okay. It's like, what is happening here? And so then you really find out, like, and you start really contemplating, like, you know, going to the gym or, you know, do I need to go get a mommy makeover, you know, to kind of try to tighten things back up, or do I just do I just go with the flow? Like, if he's not going to complain, you know. But then you know, and with some people though, like, we know that men are very visual, right? And so you certainly don't want to be in a position where, you know, the eyes start wandering because now all of a sudden you are no longer attractive. And I think probably as women, I don't know, you'll have to tell me about men. We probably are way harder on what we look like than what we perceive you think we look like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, not going to speak for all men now. I'll speak for myself. I think that we are not as quick or easy to be concerned about looks. We're more concerned about strength. We're not as strong as we were.
Gotcha.
Right? And so it's not so much that my belly is bigger than it was before. It's that I can't lift this thing up that I used to be able to lift, or I cannot climb up a flight of stairs as fast as I used to be. So we start thinking about things. It's interesting because now that I'm thinking about it, I think that when it comes to our bodies, we are probably more conscious about how we look to other men than we do women.
Okay.
Right? We're trying to think about, okay, is he faster than me? Is he stronger than me? Is he, you know, bulkier than me? So while at the same time, let's just put ourselves in a scenario. We're in a restaurant. You're thinking about how you look for yourself. I'm looking at dudes and how they're looking at you, and then measuring myself up against them. It's a real interesting dynamic and then I'm waiting for your reaction because I'm looking to see whether
I respond to
them.
Yeah.
And if you respond in a different way to them than you do to me, now all of a sudden I'm not adequate.
Right.
And I don't internalize it as having a bigger belly, because he might have one too.
Right.
Right. But there's something about him that, like, got your eyes to raise.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know what it is. And for men, I think the bigger thing is I also don't know how to articulate it. Right. I don't know how to say, hey.
What was that?
Right. Now, some people do,
here?
right? They have a whole-on argument at the table.
Right.
Right?
Right.
What you're looking at, blah, blah, blah. You know, why are you looking? So the thing is, like, it's okay to look, don't stare.
Right.
Right? It's like, because you can't not notice, right? You
Right.
can't not, like, I can't control your eyes any more than you can control my eyes, right? It is about respect more than it is someone looking. But there are other folks that don't even want, like, you better keep your eyes here the whole time. And the rest, first of all, that's humanly impossible, right? And you don't want people to do that because there's other things happening in the room that you want people to be aware of. I wonder also for you, at the same time that you were beginning to look at me, I just kind of spoke to you about how I was seeing myself. But at what point were you concerned about how you thought I was seeing you?
Yeah, that would be right after the birth of KJ. Because, initially you think, my body's just going to go back. Because I've always had a fast metabolism. And so, when we met, I was thin as a rail. So I never had this expectation that I would get to the size that I am today. And so, so after the birth of him, and I realized, oh, my body's it's not going back down the way I thought it would. But then I was like, okay, this is something I can live with. I got teased growing up about being overly skinny. So, I was kind of like, we good. I got a little thickness to me. I'm good, But when the menopause kicked in, when that weight kicked in, that's when I got like, where it's almost, I'm always self-conscious about how I look and making sure like I don't get too out of control.
Right.
I look, and I find myself, it's funny that you say how you are comparing yourself to men, but I am also looking at women and I'm saying, all right, I can't let it get like that. You got to have some semblance of something here, right? It's because I'm just like, I'm always in my mind of how you met me originally, which was, I was very in shape and very shapely. And that's, I'm not saying that I am out of shape. That's for sure.
You're out of one shape, but you're in another shape.
I'm in a whole nother one. We're trying to find a happy medium here with these shapes. But so it is something, because I do still want to be visually pleasing to you, right? And so that is something that it's in the back of my mind, like just making sure that don't get out of control.
Right.
Even though you have never, ever given me an indication that you are unhappy with the way I look or anything like that. Again, I think that we as women are probably harder on ourselves about the way we think that you look at us. So, yeah.
Yeah. From a physical point of view, for a man, naked is naked. Like, we don't really care. There's some guys that are like, there are guys that are really hung up on, I want my woman to be thin.
Yeah.
I want them to be slender. There are those kinds of guys. I think those are anomalies. I think that dudes, for the most part, listen, once you take the clothes off, I don't really care. That's on you, what you think you look like.
Yeah.
Because everything becomes the same. I think that, so there was a transition, right, where, and she's right, like she's always been, and she still is, beautiful to me from head to toe. Like me and a friend of mine were talking about this the other day. We were talking about old girlfriends, and we were talking about seeing old girlfriends. And I'm sure old girlfriends see me and old boyfriends see you when you see old boyfriends, particularly on Facebook and social media, right? And you're like, good Lord, thank you, Lord. I won't go any further than that. It's like when I look at you, I'm like, I got it, dude. We good, we
Right.
good. And
Right.
so I think that when it comes to those kinds of things, I think the transition for me was the shift from being conscious about how you look and more conscious about how I felt about you. Right. And so when I'm near you, it's not about how you look. It's about, I like this feeling when I'm near her. So as you know, when that happens, it really doesn't matter what you look about, because the priority is she over here or is she over there? But there are other elements that also impact how we interact and how couples interact. I was at a meeting the other day, and one of the guys sitting next to me just connected on this conversation, and I wish I could have recorded that conversation because it was hilarious. But he was talking about sleep apnea. And he was talking about how he was on a CPAP machine and that it saved his marriage, because, he was snoring so loud, she couldn't sleep. He was miserable. He was getting up, not feeling good in the morning. And he said it had really changed his life. He says, but he noticed something once he started wearing the CPAP. He said, I woke up one night and I heard the snoring, and it was like, it couldn't be me. And he looked over and it was her. And in his mind, he was like,
Oh, wait a minute.
right. He's like, how you what is the deal here? Baby, I was snoring louder than her. And so I could never hear her. He says, but it was just comical to me to hear her snore. He says, there are nights he says, I'm sure that she didn't do it with me because I was probably snoring much louder and much harder. He says, but there are nights when he wakes up and she's snoring and he just lays there and look at her. He says there's something, he didn't say attractive, but he says there's something about watching
listening to her.
Yes. Yeah. The noise that mattered. I was like, first of all, men don't usually talk. I had never met that person before in my life. For him to feel comfortable enough with another man to share that, and then for me to connect with what he was saying, for me was a different level for me. When you are talking to your friends, other women friends, at this seasoned age, has the conversation shifted about your spouse, your mate, your boyfriend differently than it was when you were younger?
That's a good question. I don't keep a lot of friends.
I know, right?
So, I'm gonna say for me and my bestie, our conversation really hasn't changed too much. We just kind of talk about life in general, what's going on. I think too, we like to encourage one another and support one another. And so the cool thing about she and I is we are supporters of our marriages, meaning she supports our marriage and I support, we're friends of each other's marriages. Okay. Right. And so I can share with her. So for instance, if there's a frustration that I'm having, and whenever we disagree, everybody thinks that they're right. She's one of my friends. I can call Wendy and say, hey, listen, this just happened between me and Kenny. And what I love about her is I can trust her to tell me the unbiased truth. And she'll be like, nah, Trey, you got to get that one together. I'll be like, really? And she's like, yeah. She was like, I agree with Kenny on this one. And I do it with her and her husband. I'll just be like, Wendy, go ahead and go back to Ronnie and go ahead and apologize to him. Because nope.
Yeah.
You know, be like, you knew that about him when you got married. Right. And so that's, we've always had that kind of friendship where, this is because she and I go back to college days. Like that's how long we've been friends. And so whoever we were seeing at the time, we've always had that type of relationship where we could really talk about who we were in relationship with and really just try to give each other good, sound advice. Interestingly enough, now we laugh about the whole menopause stuff, right? Because it's just funny because stuff just happens. And I'd be like, girl, let me tell you what happened to me today. Like, it's like, we most of the times we're threatening to go to the gym every day, know. That don't happen. Right? But we threaten it every other day. Yeah. We're going to the gym to get our bodies right. And then it's like, yeah, I'm going for a walk, and then on the occasion when it actually happens, you're like, girl, you went on a walk. Like, yeah. And I thoroughly, like, I just, I was telling you the other day that I went for a walk with Amber and it was such an enjoyable walk, and I hadn't been out like walking in a good long while. But it was just something like I thoroughly enjoy walking, and really should be more intentional about making time because not only is it going to help me physically, but it also is like a mental release for me as well. Just being outside, breathing the fresh air, watching nature, looking at people, just But yeah, so that's the relationship that I have with her is, so we laugh about the stuff that happens with regards to menopause and how our bodies are just changing. It's like, there's literally nothing like, and then we also, the other thing we threaten to do is go get surgeries and, we contemplate that and then we laugh about it and be like, girl, ain't nobody going up underneath a knife for this.
Right.
So, so we don't harp on it. It's just, it's one of those things that we know it exists. You just gotta figure it out as you go day by day.
Yeah, it was interesting because at this meeting we were at, there was a doctor there and there was a bunch of room full of guys and a lot of them were seasoned brothers. And I have these like little circles that are starting to formulate now in my own personal life of guys who are now becoming more conscious of their health, right? They're becoming more conscious of their existence, their legacy, right? We are now being motivated by each other, right? And so one of the guys was talking about how he now has to like really be like conscious of things like his blood pressure, his cholesterol, like he has all these counts and things that he's starting to pay attention to. But I think that at this age for men, walking into that space begins to start to impact how you think about your mortality.
Yeah.
Right. Is that something that women think about? I know men kind of think about it. Am I going to be around for my kids, my grandkids, those kinds of things?
Yeah. I mean, after you hit the seasoned age, you kind of like, I might be halfway there if I'm lucky.
Right.
Right. So,
Right.
And then you do start to really think about how to use your time wisely, right? Because when we're younger, we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. At least most of us were.
Right.
Flying by the seat of your pants, just living life. But when you get to that seasoned age, you really do start to wonder, like, so for one thing, besides the looks, and I'm always thankful. I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, people still tell me that I look fairly young. So I'm like, thank you, Lord. I appreciate that. Thank you for the good genes. But, when you go to the doctor's office. Right. And they're testing you for 1,000,001 things that you've never been tested for before. Right. And then you start wondering, like, is that going to be me one day? I've been very blessed and I'm so thankful to God for it. I've not really had any medical issues whatsoever. My biggest surgery was giving birth, right? And that's that is a big deal. But like I've never really had anything I've never had high blood pressure. I've never had diabetes. Don't have high cholesterol. So even with all of my weight gains and my body shifting, I still maintain a really good level of health. And prayerfully, that will continue, because my prayer always to God is we don't have time for illness, because we got too much. You put me on here to go, to get work done. So I really don't have time for that. So we need to not bring that into my space. I'm like, that's not what you gave. That's not part of your promises for me. Right. But it does cross your mind in terms of, you mentioned something earlier, strength. Right. And so, the other day, the boys, something came in, and I was like, listen, I'm about to leave these boxes out here, but I'm at a space now where I'm like, hey, we got 2 young men in the house. Get them boxes. Right. I'm not doing that. Like, I just came to a space where I was like, I don't actually have to do that. Right. And so, you recognize, like, just trying to open up a bottle and I'm struggling. I'm like, what is this? And then stupid thoughts start, like, do I have arthritis? Like, you just start thinking stuff.
Say, stay off of WebMD, because
that part,
you'll find something wrong with you soon.
Well, not only will you find something wrong with you, but you'll find yourself dead, because every diagnosis leads to death. So, but you just start... You start to realize that you're on potentially what is not potentially, it's going to be your final journey. Right. I mean, if you think about it, from the day we're born, we're on our final journey to pass away. Right. But when we're younger, we don't ever think about that. But you certainly start to think about it when I think the other day, or we went to the football game. Right. And I don't know what was happening in the moment while we were watching the game, but this thought popped into my head that I remember being at my own high school watching football games. And now I'm at my son's high school watching football games. And I'm like, whew, time has passed. Right. And then the other reminder that time is passing is, it seemed like forever that KJ was this little itty bitty thing. And then now he's a junior. And I keep thinking in my head, like, next year he's graduating. I was just talking to one of my girlfriends from his school, and she was having the same thing. I was like, because they're doing, the last time I took KJ to campus for basketball, there was a lot of photographers outside. And they're taking pictures of the students. And I'm wondering, what are they taking pictures of the students for? I'm like, is there something special happening? Yeah, the seniors, they're going to be graduating. So they're taking the senior pictures now. And so when I was talking to my friend about it, she was like, oh my goodness, so-and-so, he's getting ready to graduate. I said, girl, this is going to be us next year. And she was like, oh, don't say that. And I'm like, yeah, but it's true. I'm like, we're literally about to be empty nesters.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about you.
I am. We had over the summer, we got to try it out. We got a little preview, and I was like, not gonna lie, kind of like this. I mean, obviously he's not gonna be gone the minute he graduates and walks across the stage. But there's college and so he'll be back and forth for a little bit. But we're about to be empty nesters, so that's also like another reminder that time is passing, because it's another major milestone that's happening.
Right. And the other thing too is we've had to, like, I feel like this sometimes, like there are things I have to let go. Yeah, for those of you that's been following the collective's journey, part of it is in really kind of this, what I've been calling the double nickel age, right? Which is 55 and plus. And so, because I think for me, life began to start, I think mentally, I started thinking different when I was 55. It wasn't anything about 50 that a lot of people hang on 50 when they turn 50. I was like, when I turned 50, I kind of like felt I was still 30. But there was something about 55 that was like, I'm closer to 60, right? And then when 60 happened, I was like, okay, I kind of feel like I'm 50. I don't feel like I'm 55 yet, right? But one of the things as we're kind of talking about being at these stages is really letting go of this whole notion that you're young. Right? Like hanging on to this thing like I'm young. It's like, no, dude, you're not. You're not anymore. Like things don't bounce back as quickly as they used to. Like things that you get hurt, if you get hurt, right, you don't bounce back as quickly. For me, and I know it is this way for most senior people, like you can hurt yourself sitting still. Like, how is that? I think I told you the other day I was in the car. I thought I was fine. I was in the car and I just turned my head to look at KJ get out the car.
Yep.
And I felt like I pulled a muscle in my back.
Yeah.
And then I get to this meeting where the doctor is there and he's talking about how sometimes strokes and heart attack can mask themselves as muscle pulls and those kinds of things if you don't pay attention to it. Have you let go of young yet?
So I think I shared this on one of the prior episodes. I remember being at our current church, and this is when we had first joined, and I was talking to a couple, and I don't remember what was being said in that moment, but I suddenly realized that I was the oldest person in that group, and I got really uncomfortable, and I was like, oh, I'm not this young anymore. Like it just came so naturally easy for me to engage in the conversation with them, but something like clicked in my brain and was like, you're not their age.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it wasn't a good feeling for me either. I did not enjoy that epiphany. And so I think now, I don't, because there's that thing, that young at heart, young in mind, and so I do feel like I do still have some of that. But I also have some wisdom now, and so I embrace that.
Right.
And so, but I outwardly, for sure, I'm not trying to dress like I'm young. Right?
Yeah.
You know how you see the people where, they have not fully grasped the fact that, they're not young anymore and they're still trying to, like, I want to dress nice.
Right.
But I also realize, like, listen, I'm not going to go out there with everything hanging all out. Like, to me, that's just craziness, right? It was inappropriate when I was younger, but it's completely inappropriate now that I'm a little more seasoned, right? And it's absolutely inappropriate given that, I'm a follower of Christ. So, so I think in certain areas, I've kind of just resign the fact like, hey, you're older. It is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
In other areas, I don't want to necessarily let go of some of my, like, I feel like creativity is still in it's still younger. Like I don't, that's how I just feel like I can, and I think that that's actually a good thing, because your mom said something to me a while back that has stuck with me. And one of the reasons why she wanted to remain so independent was because she was like, I don't want to lose like how my mind works.
Right. Yeah.
And so that always stuck with me, you know. And so I think that there has to be some level of youngness in your mind. I don't know if that's making sense to you or not, but I just feel like there is something to hold on to,
Right.
so that you don't, because you know, you could easily just think about getting caught up in the fact that like I'm getting older, I can't move the way I used to, and
Right.
you know, one of the things that I have found out about myself, and you just were you experienced it today. In my mind's eye, I can get ready in 10 minutes. That is not the reality. It is not the reality. And even when I think I'm giving myself extra time, because I'm like, listen, girl, first of all, you never could get ready in 10 minutes. That's never been you, right? But certainly, even 30 minutes is a stretch now. Like, I don't have the capability of just jumping up and throwing clothes on and running out the door. Listen, I got to wake up and I need to just lay there for a minute.
Yeah.
Right? And let my thoughts get together and let the body kind of wake up, right?
Right.
And then like even today when we were talking about doing this, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be ready in like 45 minutes. And then I'm looking down and I'm like, why is it 45 minutes already? And I'm not even close to being done.
Right.
But in my mind, now I don't know if this happens to you. In my mind, I'm rushing. Like I'm moving fast in my mind. I'm like, yeah, I gotta. That is not happening in real life, though. So
Yeah. Well, I'm on a different cycle than you are anyway.
You
And
are.
So I can move. You know, it's one of the things that I'm still thankful for.
Yeah.
Like, starting is not as fast
Right.
as it used to be.
Yeah.
But once I'm moving, I feel like I move normally. Like, so there's these moments where you have to kind of slow yourself down because you can't like twist and turn as quickly as you used to, right? So I have a process when I get out of the car. Like I used to swing the door open and jump out the car, and whatever way my foot was turned, I would jump. And even if I kind of tweaked my knee a little bit, I could still keep going. Now I'm always conscious about when I do that to make sure that my left leg is pointing out. So when I stand up, I'm going into my knee and not away from my knee. And so that's conscious because I know if I tweak it, it's going to be hurt for, you know, a minute. I'm also conscious about picking up something in a heavy box.
Yeah.
Right. I don't just bend over,
Yeah.
grab the
Don't
box
do
and
that.
pick it up. Right.
Yeah.
You squat down, you grab it, and you use your legs and your thighs to pick it up.
Yeah.
So those kinds of things I'm like really, you know, conscious about and making sure that I don't hurt myself. Like it's not even falling, because you hear stories, and I hear stories about more seasoned people. Like I can't even, like the amount of people that I know now that have had either knee replacement or hip replacement. Like my mind won't wrap around that, which is wait, like my knee, like somebody can actually go in there and like replace my knees or my hips. Like my mind won't wrap around that. I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that I'm about ready to get a whole new set of teeth. Right? Never thought about that, you know, in my life, but here I am, like still functioning. If I had done what I was supposed to do, I wouldn't be here. But I didn't do that. But be that as it may, there's something that is going to happen that is more likely to happen in this day and age because of science and technology than it would have 50 years ago.
Right.
Because I remember like my aunts and uncles like eating, and I can remember them. My aunt used to always, everything she ate, she would crush up. And I used to always be like, why does she crush up everything she eats? And then I'm like, because she don't have any teeth.
Right.
Like, and she can't, like, it's so those conscious things for me in terms of things to let go. One of the other, and I want to go here before we close, because we can talk about this for a minute, but I do want to kind of touch on this for a minute, and that is, many of you know that over the last since December, I think it was since December, right, that I've gone through this teeth journey. And as a result of that, also getting my health right and getting my life right in a number of different other areas around my blood pressure and cholesterol and A1C and all these other things. And the cool thing now is going to the doctor and having them tell me, oh, you're doing good, or you're looking healthy. I love the way you look. Or having people look at me and say, whoa, bro, you look good. And I'm like, first of all, I'm saying to myself, so what I look like before? So whenever you tell me I look good, I'm like, so what did you think about me before I look like this? And so I get past that piece of it. But the validation we get, because I want to get back to the marriage place, right? So in the midst of that, like I've like lost this weight. I'm still trying to get my clothes to like match up with my body. I still won't like stop buying 2XLs because I feel like it's going to come back. Like I feel like it's going to come back. And so I'm not ready to like wear tighter clothes yet. And I'm still, it's a psychological thing. But there was a moment that you said something to me that I was like, really, it took me over the moon. I don't know if you were joking when you said it, or at least saying it just jokingly, but it impacted my psyche, you know, when you said it. And you said, babe, I see your abs. And I was like, for real? I was like,
I did.
I was like looking down and I was like,
they're peeking through.
I'm like, but again, I was like, so where were they before?
They were hidden before. They was under the fluff.
So I've been,
because listen, if let's just be transparent, I've never seen your abs from when we met.
Right, yeah. It's crazy that you say that. Two things. I now, when I go back and I look at my older pictures, I can't find a picture that I've never not had a gut. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought like, I was like, thought I was buff like when I met you. And I'm looking, I was like, wait a minute. I had a stomach there, I had a stomach there, I had a stomach there. I can't go back far enough until like high school maybe. Right. I can get back.
Yeah.
The other thing is, so y'all see how low my hair is cut now. So I go to the barber, not my two barbers. I had to get my hair cut because I was going at this meeting and I wanted to get my hair cut. So when I walked in, I was like, any barber is available? And the guy was like, what do you need? And I said, low and tight. That's all I said. I said, no, low and even. That's what I said, low and even. I don't even have to tell Charles and Freddie what to do because they know. I'd sit down and they know what I want. And he was like, oh, good. So we talking, we kick, he's going, he's lining it up. Then he shows me the mirror and I'm like,
where's my hair?
More importantly, where's my hairline? Like, dude, like you have like made my hairline disappear completely. And so I took a picture of it and I posted it, and now everybody got jokes and stuff about it, right? And I keep looking at it and I can see it where it is.
Yeah.
So I started going back and looking at older pictures. because I wanted to see how far it has gone back.
Mm-hmm.
I have gone back through pictures and looked at pictures, and my hairline was always where it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I don't know why I thought at some point
thought it
in
was
my
down
life,
here?
my hairline was like an inch above my eyebrows. My hairline has never been above my eyebrows. It has always been up here. The difference back then is my hair was dark.
Yes.
So you could see the line up
Yes.
against my skin, but because my hair is more seasoned now,
Yeah.
it's a little more difficult to see the line
Yeah.
when it's cut down low
Yeah.
than when it's not. Because I know when it comes out, I can see it. I can see where it is. And I was like, all right, dude, like you're good.
Yeah.
Like your hairline is good. You do have abs. They've been hidden for a while, but you can find them and you can
Yes.
expose them again. You can get back to that space. And I often wonder, because there was something that you said to me. This was earlier on in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You said this, and it's an intimate thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it ain't crass. So,
Okay.
and you said to me, I thought you liked big breasts. You remember saying that to me?
I do remember saying that to you.
And I was like, my mind was like, where did that come from? And then I started looking back, trying to see. And in my mind's eye, I didn't go search them down like,
Right,
I
I
need
know.
to like,
I know, but you did a mental.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, they weren't Jane Manson, but they weren't. And my mind was like, but I said, in my mind's eye, I was like, what did I do to make her feel that way? And I have always been curious whether or not that was something just in your head or something that I made you feel.
No. So again, so first layer to that question is growing up skinny mini. Right. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
And then also because I was so thin, I also was a late bloomer.
Okay.
So and my first bra was a hand-me-down from somebody else at school that was well endowed.
Okay.
And so I got matter of fact, put mom on blast, God rest her soul, told me that I could just use Band-Aids
Wow.
when we went shopping for a training bra. I can laugh about it now, but in the moment, oh my goodness.
Right.
So there was that part of me carrying that because I was always so far behind with my friends, and just because my body build was different and I was athletic.
Right.
So that didn't help.
Right.
Right. And then, so you never made me feel like I was inadequate in
Right.
terms of my body.
Right.
But you like to take pictures.
Yeah.
And so I've seen some of your books.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw some of the X's.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so it, in my mind, I was like, what would make him attracted to me? Because I don't have that body type.
Right.
But it was never anything that you never said anything
Right.
to make me feel like that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
But it, the visuals that I saw from the photo albums and the videos, coupled with my childhood experience,
Okay.
said to me like, this is what guys like. Guys like women that are extremely well endowed, and
Right.
and so I didn't have that. So that's why it was a question to you, like, hey, is because also just thinking about the long term and because I remember we had that conversation kind of earlier on
Right.
in our relationship, and wanting to know, like, if he's stuck on body type, is this gonna work? Because there are some men that you mentioned it earlier, like they have a certain type, they have a
Right.
certain look.
Right.
And if they don't mature during the relationship, that's all they'll be stuck on.
Right.
And so, so that was just a concern. It wasn't anything that you had ever put in there. It's just, I think it was a combination of my experience and my imagination of what I thought you wanted.
Yeah, because when I look back, I've never thought I had a type. I just didn't. I don't. Because for me, it was never external for me. It was always internal. Like for me, it was always connect, nice, we could laugh and be lighthearted. Like those were my attraction triggers. Like so the external was just like, now don't get me wrong, I looked at beauty and I
Of
looked
course.
at looks, but it was never my hook. It would always, if I connected on a heart-to-heart level, like I was got, right? It was, and then, yeah, when I go back and see pictures, I'm like, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
For seasoned folks who are married, who are getting there, becoming empty nesters, their bodies are changing, their relationships have to renew, right? I don't think we've gotten there yet. I don't think we've gotten to a place where we got to start thinking about renewal. Like, what is our relationship now? Like, like back in the day, when the kids left, people split up because it's like, I now have no more obligations and going about your business. I'm going. The cool thing about marriage is you don't have to pretend.
Right.
You don't. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't pretend. You don't have to pretend. And so for me, the concern in the reestablishing and new relationship are the two keys. And I'm going to ask you this question. And that is romance and intimacy. How do you keep those things going?
Yeah, so for sure you got to be intentional about doing that. And then I think too, so the summer, like I said, I feel like the summer for us was a bit of a preview with KJ being gone for 3 weeks. And us just having alone time, right? And really getting to reconnect with my friend, right? Because that's how you and I started. We just started off as friends. We weren't dating. In fact, we were dating other people.
Right.
So, and so it was, I just remember a moment when I think we were out on the beach and just thinking like, I really enjoy this man. Like, I just enjoy being in your presence, having conversation. There was nothing at that time because we were in public, nothing sexual was happening.
Right.
But it was just like this moment where like this thought just popped into my head like, yeah, I like this. I really like this. And then, so, we're not going to be like jackrabbits like we were when we were younger.
Right.
Right. But definitely being intentional to make sure that there's connection. You love to cuddle. Right. And I'm not necessarily one, but I find myself like, if we haven't cuddled in a minute, I'm going to definitely seek you out. Be like, hey,
Right.
in my mind's eye, like, what's going on here?
Right.
Because sometimes we just get busy with life. I go to sleep first, you go to sleep, we're both working late or whatever the case may be. So I think it really just boils down to intentionality of just making sure, set a date night. Like, let's just go out and enjoy each other. Like, for no particularly good reason, just because we just haven't hung out in a minute. I love when, you don't know this because I don't think I've ever shared this with you, but last night I came in the room, you were knocked out asleep. And I didn't want to wake you up because I knew you had been up so early. But I came in the room because I won't, it's Friday night, so I'm not cooking. And I was going to be like, hey, you want to drive me around so we can go get something to eat? Because like we do that, right? We're just, hey, you want to go for a ride? Let's just go drive around. We chat. We're looking at stuff. And we're talking about stuff. We're talking about the boys. We're talking about, we're talking about God. We're talking about the business, just whatever is going on in our life. And so I feel like that's one of the ways that we just connect. Like and it's organic because it's not in our calendar, but it's just like, hey, you want to go hop in the car and let's just go for a ride, or hey, let's go look at some furniture. Like we don't need furniture, but let's just go. Let's go look at it anyway. So I just think that there's got to be some intentionality, and then there's just got to be some stuff that happens organically. And I think that the way that happens is, as you got to keep learning each other. Right, because we're changing every day, right? And so who I am today is certainly not who you initially met, and vice versa. And so, but if you get so caught up in just raising the kids, or just going to work and being a provider, or just being at church all the time, like that's how you start. I feel like that's how you start to disconnect, which is why when people, get to the empty nester stage, and they're like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Because they don't even know the person anymore.
Yeah. I think for me, it is two things. One is I like touch. And so it's not so much, it is cuddling, but it is more touch. Like touch to me is connection.
Right.
So if you don't touch me, that's when I'm like,
what's going on?
Right.
Yeah. But here's the crazy part, because now let's go back to menopause. Touch for me right now is like, oh my gosh, he's so hot. I mean, you hot, but I mean physically hot. Right. And so then there becomes this like battle, this internal battle. Like, do I just, this is not the right word. Do I just, that's not a good word either. You just have to like, listen, I got to sacrifice. That's the word. I got to sacrifice, because even though my body is burning up internally, yours isn't.
Right.
And I want to cuddle with you. It's just that my body is saying, get it off of me, get it off of me. Because it's hot. It's just this heat that's happening, right? So there's that juggling act. Of like, hey, I'm not pushing you away. But what I love about you is that you've been really understanding and just like, listen, her body's going through something right now. And so we're not going to push the issue, like, and because I know you love physical touch, right? And you've been so gracious, and I've been so appreciative, which is why I'm like, hey, listen, put your big girl drawers on, suck it up, buttercup, and get over there and get to cuddling. Right? Yeah. We just going to turn the fans up extra and do what we got to do here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing too is, like, it's not a deal breaker, but it is like, so I have a trigger as well, and that trigger is, whenever, just like you said, if I haven't touched you in a while, you're like, what's going on? Your trigger takes a little longer than my trigger to go. My trigger is almost immediate. Like when it happens, my mind immediately is asking what's going on. Like I don't wait. I don't need to see it 2 or 3 or 4 times. Like I am at stage 1 when it happens. So even when it happens, I have to battle in my own head. Like, get out of your head. She's not her. Right? That's an important, because remember we talked about earlier about
bringing the past.
Bringing that stuff forward.
Yeah.
My mind is, no, she's not her.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop me from thinking about it. And it doesn't become a warning in my head that says, but don't ignore it. Right? At the same time. It may not be, but don't ignore it, either. And so, but it is that touch, for me, And the non-deal breaker, which is that's when it's not good. Like when you allow that thing that is an irritant at the moment to continue to be an irritant, and you don't deal with it. And then you begin to have to ask ask yourself the question, why? Like, why does she not care about how I feel right now? Or you have to say the same thing to yourself. Why does he not care about how I feel, you know, right now? But listen, we still got a whole bunch of other stuff. We can come back and talk about some of the other things, you know, in here. I think we touch everything except for, you know, faith and mindset, you know, and that is, you know, one of the things that happened with Tracy and I before we got married. And we went through this like period that I was like, this ain't gonna work out because I ain't trying. I don't care what Pastor C says. And we was going through this. We were going to this church, and our pastor's she put the gauntlet down on Tracy, and she put it down on me. And I was like, wait a minute. You've been feeding me all this time, and now all of a sudden, because this person says, no, you can't feed me no more, I can't eat, we got a problem going on. And there was a couple of times that I was able to break through, but there was like this point where she got to, no, we're done. But what I realized when that happened, when you hit that point, it was what's happening is you're beginning to intrude on how I feel on the inside spiritually.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking it was emotional and physical when for you it was spiritual.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, we had dated for 5 years.
Right.
And typically my MO was 2. If at 2 years we had not come to a conclusion on marriage, why am I wasting my time with you? And so I had been in that space of like 2 years for a long time. And so when I look up and I realize it's been 5 years and you've not mentioned marriage, you know, at that time we were living together too.
Right.
Right. And so that was really, that was a big challenge for me spiritually because I still wanted to be obedient to God, but I was clearly outside of his will.
Right.
And then also the other caveat was God told me that you were going to be my husband, which is why I think I overlooked the 2-year period. Because I was like, God, you said he's my husband. So, you know, and I was confident in that. Like I knew that's where we were going to end up. I just didn't realize it was going to take that long. And, so spiritually it started really wearing me down. It was really wearing me down. And I just got to a space where I was like, God, I'm now starting to second guess what you said to me about him.
Right.
And so us going to the new church, because remember at that time we had actually changed churches.
Yes.
Right. And so that was literally the support that I needed to say like, hey, we're not playing around with this.
Yeah. Right.
Pastor C and Pastor Trey both, they saw it immediately, was like, nah, y'all need to go ahead and get married. And I thought at one point, I thought they were going to sit me down because remember I sang on the praise team. I thought I was going to get sat down because I had seen some other folks go through that journey. And I was like, oh, I'm getting ready to be sat down. Yeah. But they were very kind in that. And they was like, no, we're not going to sit you down, but you are going to plan a wedding. And I was like, oh.
Right. By any means necessary.
Yep. And she said, I'm coming out of retirement to plan this wedding.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And she planned it from A to Z. She did everything that I asked for and then some.
Yeah, she
so
did.
Really appreciative
Absolutely.
of her for doing that. And really, like I said, it was because of her support and her insistence.
Right.
I think that's what actually got us on track, because I feel like if that intervention had not happened, we might not be here today.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot going on back then, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Well, Mrs., this has been incredible. I'm sure people are going to enjoy it. I've had so many people comment about the last time we were talking. I'm like, okay, we got to come back and do more. And so, seasoned conversations, y'all. This is my wife, my beautiful queen, Mrs. Tracy Braswell. And next time we come back, I'm not playing the lead co-host. I'm going to be the following co-host. So get ready for that. Got one last, any lasting?
No. It's, it's always, I enjoy, I'm always nervous when I come in.
I don't even know why.
I don't know why either.
You're definitely not going to be nervous on the next conversation, because the next conversation is right up your alley.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Check us out, theseasoncollective.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We got a lot going on, and we're going to continue to do this. Who knows? We might even come to a town near you. How about that? Till next time, God bless, be safe, and peace out.
Thank you for joining me for today's seasoned conversation. Remember, every step we take shapes the legacy we leave. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone else navigating their own seasoned journey. To learn more and to become part of our growing community, visit us at theseasoncollective.com. Until next time, stay seasoned, stay purposeful, and remember, it's never too late to care deeply, to live boldly, and to rewrite your story.